certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Belverita, I am absolutely certain that worked. It is Carla's Heart of Influence. And here we are on Why Wednesday. And Bella, we're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. So please, who's here?
Well, Sean, as soon as my bio sheet comes back up, because my computer sometimes takes its time. It's having
How about I introduce then our co-host, the woman that's about to read all of these beautiful bios. This woman started selling crafts on her parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old. She progressed in her influence journey to being a person in network marketing that by the age of 19 was earning 7 figures. Are you kidding me? 24, 25, 26 years old. She's three-peating like Michael Jordan, except not in basketball, but is the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She goes from this incredible accomplishment, which footnote, she's the first woman ever to do it, and the youngest person, male or female, ever be Nevada's #1 business broker, doing it at 24 years old. She then begins to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team this woman worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions. Maybe she learned it on YouTube or Instagram, or maybe from a blind man. Who knows? Depends on the stock of the blind man on that day. She's also 2-time, about to be 3-time published author and philanthropist, raising $10 million plus with the Unblinded team. And in 2023, this woman that put the heart into the Heart of Influence in her more than 1,000th episode, footnote, this woman publicly battled and defeated cancer. Inspiration, powerhouse, feisty, and fun. Let's welcome to the Heart of Influence, Bella Verita. A 1,000 episodes. So you have something better to do? Come on, Bella Verita. What's going on? What's your fun fact?
Nothing better to do than be here with Carla Fleming and all of her extraordinary people. And I think I'm going to go with the fun fact that I temporarily lost my mind when I decided to open a new business physical location in partnership with Unblinded and get a new puppy all at the same time. That was a lot. That was a lot. So, but that is my fun fact. We got a wonderful little red dough beat that is extraordinary. And that is my fun fact for today.
Yes, and I'm a Disney dad to this puppy, so I definitely do not have the level of stress that Bella Verita has. And thank you for taking care of our Dobie puppy and all that you do for sure, Bella. And please, Bella, since Plato said, the Greek philosopher, I think He's actually a friend of Carla Fleming's. I'm not sure. He belly dances too, this Plato guy. This guy said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So we're going to play this game, introduce one another, and get to know a thing or two. So Bella, from that place, are we ready with the bios or not yet?
We are ready for the bios, and you may want to tilt your computer up just a hair because we're like, there you go. Now we're catching your full face. All right, let's kick this off coming from, of course, Erie, Pennsylvania. Currently serves as a special project manager at the Erie County Redevelopment Authority and co-founder and owner of a local fresh grocery and cooking class facility. That's fun. A master's in social work from Columbia and a PhD of social welfare policy. She also helps people navigate grief through facilitated group sessions open to the public. Let's welcome to the show, Amy Kuzola Kern.
Welcome to the one and only Carla Fleming's Heart of Influence. I'm hearing Roar Lions Roar from Columbia in your background. That's fun. And Amy, please, what is your fun fact? Footnote, it's a headline, not a story. Proud moment, adventurous moment, surprising moment, or whatever you want that would make us say, Amy, no way. So
you
please.
can imagine it. I was a competitive figure skater.
Amy, no way. That is super fun. Did you figure skate around the New York City area at some point in your Columbia days, or had you already hung up the skates?
Oh yeah, no, hung up the skates at that point. But
very cool. And
spent a lot of time in Lake Placid though. So.
Oh, the home of the 1980 Miracle on Ice. Amy, it's an honor and privilege to have you here today. And you ready to have a little bit of fun? Maybe not as much fun as ice skating at Lake Placid, but ready to have a little bit of fun, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
I'll go with a yes, Bella. Come on.
I'm going with a yes. Coming from San Jose, California, at 15, a co-founder of a business grown from startup to $200 million enterprise, a certified professional in supply management, secret repping for advocate coaches, consultant, community builders, scaling impact through group coaching and AI mastery, facilitates transformative events and organizations discovering greater potential, boosting engagement, and rapidly innovating. Let's welcome to the show, Robert Murray.
Thank you. Robert, I'm hearing impact. I'm hearing acceleration. Warm welcome to Carla's Heart of Influence. And please, your fun fact.
All right. My fun fact is when I first moved to California to become a coach, it was the first time I ever lived alone. And I decided to give somebody a hug every day. And I managed to do it for 5 years straight, where I never missed a day giving somebody a hug. And it was only a bad idea two times out of the entire 5 years. And P.S., don't hug a TSA agent.
I was going to ask, any criminal complaints filed, Robert? I'm hearing you loudly and clearly. Beautiful work. And yes, Bella can share numerous TSA fun stories we have about the power of rising their vibration. Longer story for a different day. Robert, thank you for being here. Bella, I'm going to hug 5 TSA agents next time and see how it goes. Let's go.
I think that is a great idea. Coming from Erie, PA, community advocates educating the public for 24 years on the dangers of domestic violence, hosting a 12-time annual live poetry production for women, hosts 3 Erie Cable Access Media programs showing on topics of poetry and women empowerment for women over 60. Author of 6 books of poetry, 5 novels, using her long career in social work and poetry to help reclaim lives from trauma. Let's welcome to the show, Theza Ann.
Is it Theza? Am I saying that correctly?
Thasia. Just Asia with TH in front.
Cool. Thasia.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So I had that wrong twice. Thasia, amazing. And please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I am a poetess, author, retired social worker who focuses as a women's advocate, especially in the area of domestic violence. Not so much fun, but fun to get them out.
For sure. Well, Thasia, thank you so much for all that you do in this world. Lots of intersections in that fine space. Appreciate you. Bella, don't mess with Asia. Come on.
I'm not messing with Thasia. Next, coming from Erie, Pennsylvania, a degree in business education, owned and operated a printing and mailing company with her then husband of 23 years, a breast cancer survivor, children's book, anthology author, 15 years on the board of a nonprofit empowering women, then president and interim director. Instead of retiring along with her friends, reinvented herself as a realtor to serve people with their biggest investment. Let's welcome to the show, Susan Dutton.
I'm hearing impact. Thank you for being on Carla's Heart of Influence today. Welcome, welcome, and please, your fun fact.
Fun fact, when I was a high school senior, I entered an art contest and I won a prize for my pen and ink drawing.
Ooh, and what did you pen and ink draw?
It was a haunted house.
Oh, that sounds super cool. Like modeling off of an actual, or this is conceptualized from a vision that you had?
It was from a vision.
Beautiful. Bella Verita, haunted houses are in the space. Boo. Who's next?
Haunted houses are in the space. It's almost time for that. Sounds like fun. Coming from Erie, Pennsylvania, owner and founder of a wellness-focused co-working space. That sounds familiar. A dedicated psychotherapist passionate about empowering an individual with a computer science degree as well. Traveled the country training insurance companies, including Erie Insurance, on software products. An advocate member of the local Rotary for 8 years. Currently serves as a chair of the membership committee. Let's welcome to the show, Penny Meckley Porter.
Welcome to Carla's Heart of Influence and your fun.
Thank you.
Please.
My fun fact, I was a Peace Corps volunteer in West Africa and happened to meet my husband there.
Wow.
Super cool. And what was the most extreme thing that you did for fun in West Africa?
Most extreme thing for fun. I think just riding a motorcycle. That's what I did. I was someone who never intended to ride a motorcycle, and I got pretty good. And you had to dodge goats and people and chickens, and you're out in the wilderness. And I got pretty good riding a motorcycle unexpectedly.
Goat and chicken dodger is in
Yes.
the goat and chicken motorcycle dodger. That's what we got. Haunted house.
Exactly.
Dodging you, John.
Yeah, it sounds like me. Let's go.
Next up from Erie, Pennsylvania, president of Erie Council passed more legislation in his second year than previously combined legislation in his second year than previously years combined, all with unanimous final votes. A pastor in an area with the lowest median household income in the nation, a church hosting a warm shelter, serving dozens of neighbors a day, with degrees from multiple universities, doing adjunct work and local ones as well. Let's welcome to the show, Chuck Nelson.
Chuck, welcome to the Heart of Influence, Carla style. Thanks for being here, and thank you for all the impact that you create in the world. Warm welcome, and please, your fun fact.
I could walk across a basketball court on my hands.
Whoa.
Everything else was covered in my bio, so that's the one we'll go with.
That is super cool, Chuck. And is that like side to side or long ways?
I'm not going to trust that I could do it long ways anymore. I'm getting a little older now, but I could definitely still do side to side.
The next time Steph Curry is raining 4 threes at the Olympics, can you bust out and walk across the floor in your hands to like add to the celebration? Can we work that out?
Yeah, the hand walking part's the easy part of that. The rest of that scenario is the difficult part to put together.
On that. We'll bail you out. Bella, we got this. The Parisian authorities would have nothing on us. Let's go, Bella. Chuck's
Yeah, we'll
honestly,
definitely bail him out because I think 2 kids were just arrested yesterday for running out on a baseball field. So we don't want to get Chuck arrested on Carla's show.
that is
And
very true. Very true.
next up, coming from Locania, New Hampshire, realtor investor for 22 years, multi-certified business and life coach, helping businesses go from struggling to thriving, host of her weekly virtual coaching clinics for real estate buyers, sellers, and photographers, and owner of a renowned inn located in the heart of New Hampshire's White Mountains, has owned and operated 10 plus businesses, and is soon to be a published author, widely sharing her secrets of success. Let's welcome to the show, Michelle Palace.
Well, impact player, clear that you are, and please your fun fact. Warm welcome.
It took me a long time to get here, but I live on Lake Winnipesaukee, and I was out this morning on the boat with some friends. And Lake Winnipesaukee is where What About Bob was filmed. And also, Luke Bryan performs at a little venue here, and he wrote Sunrise, Sunburn, Sunset, Repeat while boating on this same lake. That's in my background.
Love this. Carla brings the coolest people, Bella. Like this is like, it reminds me of your vibe from people you knew in San Diego or something. Like
I said that in the green room. Just like her shows, the people that she brings together are just amazing, warm, heart-centered, all the things.
Except, yeah, there's no except, of course. Bella, let's go. I was gonna make a joke about San Diego, but I won't. So let's go.
So, and speaking of this wonderful woman, Erie from Erie, PA, company mindset and business coach, formerly ranked #1 by Inc. 500, published author and speaker, 3-time world record holder, recruiting the largest team in the world of first-time belly dancers at an annual charity event, raising funds for domestic abuse shelters, 40 under 40 entrepreneur and composer, receiving the runner-up International Song of the Year award for one of her original love songs. Let's welcome to her show, Miss Carla Fleming.
Renaissance woman, making it happen all over the place in so many different ways. And please, Carla, please, your fun fact on your heart of influence.
Thank you, Sean. And my fun fact is that coming soon to an auntie that you know will be niece number 34 and niece or nephew number 34 and 35, and that is dropping this January or February.
Wow. At a theater near you. That is mind-blowing, Carla. Thank you. And Carla, shall we proceed?
We shall.
All right, let's go. Bella Vrita, who's up?
Next up, let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. The only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. And in fact, the state of New Jersey thought he was so cool that they actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times, just spoke at MasterCard. And when he's not busy flying around all over the country, speaking on big stages, he is an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome my co-host, Mr. Sean Callagy.
Gratitude to Carla and everybody for being here today. Much appreciation. And I'll go with this as my fun fact for today. I am a blind man, can't see anything at all in front of me. I have a little teeny bit of peripheral vision. But I have taught sighted people, including the one and only Bella Vrita, to ski, surf, and scuba dive in the most extreme of conditions. And in the island of Long Beach, New Jersey, not Long Island, not Long Beach, California, Long Beach Island, New Jersey, where Ron John surf shops originated, there was something else that originated here. the first shark attack that inspired eventually Peter Benchley to write Jaws in 1916. See proof points on Discovery Channel Shark Week episodes. And I have actually, in Long Beach Island, the site of the Jaws shark attack, actually had my surfboard bitten by a shark while I was on it in the last 12 months. That is my fun fact, Bella. Rita, let's go.
That is a super fun fact. And shall we kick this show off with Mr. Robert Murray?
Love to kick this off with Robert Murray. So we had a little fun, introduce some fine folks, but we're all up to real things that in our hearts we want to bring forward in the world. And anything that we want to bring forward requires one simple thing. I mean, Einstein said, make it as simple as possible, but not simpler. And as simple as possible is the ability to cause yes. Everything happens after it, our management, our leadership, our recruitment, our fundraising for charity and for profit. And of course, in our marketing and selling, I mean, nothing happens without yes, period. But how do you do that? Like, what's the science? I went to Columbia. Somebody else here went to Columbia. I had the privilege of knowing a lot of folks in the Ivy League institutions all over the country. And I went to law school. And nowhere in these incredible places does anybody actually teach the science of influence. Nor, quite frankly, do we find it most places in the world, even the places that claim to do it. So what this show is all about in 1,200 plus episodes is the introduction with a research and development laboratory component where you guys get to meet each other. That's cool. But we explore that superpower of influence. So thank you for joining the more than 8,000 people that have been on the show. So Bella, we're going to start with her as a role player where you can have her be anybody you want her to be. You can have her be an ideal client that you want to create a yes with. You could have her be a philanthropic fundraising partner, or she could be somebody like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, somebody famous, anything that you'd want to create a yes with. Now, pitching, hooking, closing, I don't know how you feel about that, but I think the vibrational energy of it in this high vibrational group, pitching, hooking, closing feels kind of like yuck. But what does it look like when heart-centered, sophisticated people come together and a yes should happen? How do we cause it to happen? What is that art, that dance, that science that often looks like magic, but is really advanced science actually about? That's what we're doing here. So Bella, again, can be anybody you want her to be. And Bella, one more time, who's going first?
Mr. Robert Murray.
Robert, who would you like Bella to be? 3 minutes, and it's not need to be a sale. This isn't like a rush. It could be just a yes for a longer conversation. Robert, please, who is Bella going to be?
Okay, so Bella is going to be a newly certified coach who's so excited to get her mission out into the world. And then she's sitting down at her desk and she's like, oh crap, what do I do now?
Perfect. Bella, perfect. Take us.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, how are you doing?
Completely stressed out. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I just decided that I could be a coach. And now apparently I need to build a business and I don't know what to do.
Oh, I know. I am so with you on that. That's exactly what happened to me. And, hopefully I can help you to not fall into the same trap that I did, where I spent 6 months trying to figure things out. And then 3 years before I became an actual coach, because I bought one program after another. And then as soon as they told me I should pick a niche and I should pick an avatar, it's like, okay, I'm out. And then I'd buy the next program and then I was out. So I'm curious, how long have you spent so far since you certified trying to figure out who is your niche, who is your avatar, what it is that you want to get out into the world?
I've probably thought about it for like 5 minutes. Because I want to help everyone.
Exactly. Yeah, which is probably the exact reason why I kept dropping out of all of those things. And I'm curious, what would it be like if you could wake up tomorrow morning and you could have absolute clarity on who it is that you're meant to serve, what your program looks like, and what your offer could be?
Well, I would like to wake up tomorrow with just a full slate of clients to coach. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to coach people.
Exactly. But here's the question. If you just want to coach people and you don't know what you're coaching on or what transformation you're getting for them, what are you going to say when you get them on the phone?
I'm just going to tell them how great I am and how great they are. And I think that anything is possible. That's not enough?
No. So I
That's
would
what they,
love.
I feel like that's what they told me in school.
It is, and you know, it's a shame too. I've seen so many coaches who start out and they have that bright eye. I just want to help everybody, and they struggle for years because all the advice of the marketers are, you know, you could have a coaching business launched. All you have to do is get my certification and my marketing course, and you're going to be completely clear on it. And I struggled with this for so long. Literally, I spent 3 years thinking this is going to be easy. You know, with all my accomplishments in the business world, I've got to have this coaching thing down. And suddenly I realized it's like, no, I have to select who it is that I'm going to talk to, what it is that I'm going to talk to them about, and then what transformation I'm going to make. So I'd love to provide more help for you to take that one essential step, because without that, pretty much everything else is blocked. You're just going to be taking action, maybe a lot of action, but you're going to be doing it randomly and unfocused. And hopefully you don't end up like me 3 years later, like, wait, I thought this was easy. And I had all this money coming
Yeah.
out of the corporate world. And
You know
now
what,
I'm
Robert?
wondering
I think
where
you're
it's
right.
coming from.
I'm seeing what you're saying. I think you're right. So let's definitely schedule that a little bit longer of a conversation, and I'll listen to more of what you have to say.
I love it. I am excited to talk to you and
Awesome.
see
Great
you
job,
soon.
Robert.
Robert, excellent work. And seriously, amen, brother, to what you're up to in the world. Great job. Coming back with some feedback. And
I'm surprised you didn't pick up on the fact that I would listen to what he had to say.
yes. So maybe you can talk to Belle. Just kidding. Come on, Belle. Let's go next.
Next we have Amy Kuzola Kern.
Amy, who would you like Bella to be, please?
And if you just want to unmute for us, Amy.
Sorry about that. I think maybe a potential participant in one of my grief support groups.
A potential, I'm sorry, potential purchaser of?
Participant.
Oh, participant. I'm sorry, in grief support. Perfect. Bella, please take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. It's been a while since I've seen you since your sister passed away, and I just wanted to check in with you to see how you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. It has been very challenging, very emotional, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And I'm sure you have a lot going on with your family and all of the responsibilities that you have. So I wanted to tell you about a group that I have going that may offer you some support moving forward. And it meets once a week. And it's just an hour and 15 minutes once a week. It's a drop-in session where there are other people actively grieving different losses of a person. And, you know, if you're feeling like that's something you might want to check out, I would really encourage you to come, and I would love to see you. We just kind of share our experiences and share resources and offer support in space.
That is, and this is a new group you said?
It's an open group. So it's anyone can come and go. There's no real responsibility. It's a social, you know, it's not a social group, but it's an open group. It's free of charge. And so there's no homework, no obligation. It's just something if you're feeling like you want to share and lean in on some support that you might need without a big commitment. I would love to see you.
That would, I think that would be good. I really appreciate you reaching out, Amy, and I will definitely be in touch.
Great. Okay, that's it. That didn't even take 3 minutes.
Awesome. Great job. Great job, Amy.
I'm
And
really sorry if you ever had a sister pass away. I should have given a trigger warning, but
I did. You know what? The fact that you said that, I have not, but I do have a sister that I love very much. And so when you said sister, like just the thought of losing her, like That
I'm
definitely
sorry.
at the very beginning, like definitely like took me a breath to like, oh my God, like I can't even imagine what I would experience or go through if I ever lost her, because I'm very close to her and love her very much. So that was definitely a moment of like, ooh, let me like find my footing here.
Well, if you haven't talked to her today, give her a call.
I definitely will.
Amy, and that's the point though, is what a beautiful job you did,
Yeah.
right? Step in, lean into that. That's what this whole show is about. So beautiful, beautiful job. Bella, extraordinary job. And please, let's get to the feedbackers.
Yes, feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Robert or Amy, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little scoring system as like the next steps. And so is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Robert or Amy? I definitely know that's not the case because they were both fantastic. So maybe that next step is like a little mocha chocolate latte and a little croissante at Starbucks for a little bit longer of a conversation. But maybe if that's not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting a seafood tower and a nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, then maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you do want to have the longest meeting possible with Amy or Robert. But if that's still not enough time, you are so intrigued. You got to know as much as possible in as much time as possible. So you would be willing to rent a private jet. Of course, you're going to stop and pick up Carla, and you're going to go anywhere in the world with Amy or Robert to have the longest conversation possible. So let's kick this off with Deja. Deja, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert? Deja, are you with us? If you just want to unmute.
Yeah, I was having trouble. I clicked it and it didn't unmute right away. Sorry about that. For Robert, I wanted to say you were very great at meeting her right where she was at. You were able to validate her when she had different issues and say that you also had those issues in the past. So that's always good. Anytime you can validate somebody, it makes them feel heard. So I thought that was wonderful. And I would be more than happy to have a coffee with you.
Let's go. A little mocha chocolate latte, some coffee coming up for Deja and Robert. Bella, come on.
Let's go. Next up, we have Michelle. Michelle, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Amy?
Amy, I thought you're just a very kind, warm hearted voice, and it comes through when you speak, and it's very inviting. And I think it just draws people in. Maybe a few questions about something that's important, like that's going on with them, and telling them about the group, and then like, what are you struggling with most, something like that, to help them anchor that as well, and bring it up so that there's more to discuss on how, maybe they'll come for support if they feel like that's there. I would like to have, I think, Starbucks with you.
And what would you get at Starbucks, Michelle?
What did you say? The mocha
chocolate latte.
Mocha chocolate latte. Yes.
Let's go. Mocha chocolate latte. By the way, that's our own invented Starbucks drink. Come up. Oh, let's go, Bella.
Let's go. Next up, we've got Susan. Susan, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert?
I thought Robert did a great job. Really. You were all over the place, Bella. you were totally unfocused, and he was very, very kind and very complimentary to you, while at the same time he was getting his point across, how you need to be more focused. So I thought Robert did a great job, and I would definitely go to a little place called Brouhaha for coffee, although I drink tea. And maybe we would even schedule it for lunch, which is a little bit in between the coffee and the dinner.
I like it. I like it, Susan. I like it, Susan. Having a little tea, coffee, lunch, lots of things rolling here, Bella. Come on.
Lots of things are rolling. Let's go. Chuck Nelson. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Amy?
Yeah. Enjoyed Amy's part. Interested in it, deal with a lot of people that have loss, and that sounds like the kind of thing that would be a good spot to connect people to.
Awesome, Chuck. And what will be the next step? Perhaps walking across the court on our hands at the Olympics?
Yeah.
What will we be doing next step?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get more information on how to connect people to that resource. I mean, I end up doing a funeral every other week. So, yeah, that's a needed resource in the community.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Chuck. Bella, we got some heart-centered people right here. Come on.
Of course you do. It's Carla's Art of Influence. Let's go, Penny. Penny, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Amy?
Amy, I'm a therapist in town, and I didn't realize you had a grief support group, but I'm glad to know, and I want more details. I definitely heard your warmth and compassion, and I think what was missing from what you said is you didn't tell her how she would feel better. Like, you will feel supported, you will feel seen, you will be able to make sense of your experience. And so you didn't, yes, tell her what she would get from it. And also, you're busy saying there's no obligation. I think it's good to obligate people. Come for 3 sessions and try it out. Like, make them feel obligated to themselves to help themselves feel better.
Beautiful. And next step would be a little mocha chocolate latte, a little steak, perhaps a private jet. What will be on tap next?
Starbucks tall latte with oat milk.
Whoa, very specific order, Bella Rita. These are your peeps, oat milk and all the things. Come on.
Let's do it. Next up, let's go, of course, Carla. Carla, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert?
Great job, Robert. And I really loved your emotional, energetic transference. I feel like you were able to take Bella from a really stressed place to actually being able to see the possibilities. And I could feel her, wanting to learn how she could get this thing launched and going with your expertise. So really well done. And I loved how you educated as you went. And so I would say actually, I've never been to the Capitol Grill, so we'd have to get the private jet, fly to Jersey, and do the Capitol Grill.
Let's go, Carla. Carla, you've never been to the Capitol Grill. You guys got to get here. Let's go. Capitol Grill coming up. Now, Carla, you know that Bella Rita, even though it's not in my contract, thinks it's only hospitable if the amazing Robert and Amy went into the hot seat, that I got to go in the hot seat. Now, if you could bail me out, please do, but over to Bella.
Carla, you better not be bailing him out. We're in this together. So Carla and everyone, of course, this is the time in the show that I have the honor and the privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I've been cooking them up as the show has been going on. Because Amy, Robert, you both had to go from hello to yes. Maybe you knew what you were doing, maybe you didn't, but Sean definitely has no idea what's coming. Carla, ultimately, you can choose from one of my scenarios. You can change any one of the scenarios, or you can come up with something on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
I'm ready, Bella.
All right. Option number 1 is I thought Sean could role play Amy going from hello to yes with someone who lost a spouse about a year ago, and she is calling them to invite them to her support group. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is Sean would role play Michelle going from hello to yes with Adam Sandler, because I read that Adam Sandler lives in her town. And maybe Adam Sandler would like to buy a new home. And so Sean would role play Michelle going from hello to yes with Adam Sandler, convincing him that he should buy a new house and she should be his realtor. So that is option number 2. And then option number 3 is Sean would role play Thasia going from Hello to Yes with Bob Sanders, who is a former NFL player that lives in her town for the Indianapolis Colts, and getting him to sponsor her next poetry production. So those are the three options that I have for you today, Carla. Any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something else you'd maybe like to see Sean do?
I love all of these scenarios, Bella. It's hard to choose. I really love the idea of Adam Sandler having Michelle be his realtor for a new home in their town. So let's go with it.
Perfect. And who do you want to play the role of Adam Sandler?
Let's go, Chuck.
Chuck, are you up for, you can crawl across basketball courts on your hand, but can you play the role of Adam Sandler?
Sure.
All right. And so, Sean, you are Michelle. And, Adam Sandler already has a house that he likes. He's comfortable. His family's in. But you're going to convince him why he should consider buying a new house and having you as his realtor.
Awesome. Michelle, can I ask a quick question? What is the name of the town?
I'm in Laconia. I believe Adam Sandler might have been, well,
Manchester. I went to Manchester Central.
Yeah, so he's from Manchester. So that would be the town that you would say. Manchester.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Manchester, New Hampshire, yes.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, is Mr. Sandler available?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Sandler, this is Michelle. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
Yeah. I'm just in between shots.
Well, I'm super appreciative. I know that you know who you are. I just want you to know that I not only know who you are, but how precious your time is. So I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity. And if I can ask you, though, what prompted you and your team to even accept this conversation, please, in the first place?
Well, trying to find somewhere a little quieter, a little closer to home to get up to from time to time.
So, well, incredibly grateful for that. And if I may ask, I understand your mission. I've read your book. I've heard you speak a number of times. I'm, an extraordinary advocate for your work in the world. And what's the sort of purpose, the grounding with home and the beautiful space of Manchester, New Hampshire? How does that fit into your overall mission, vision, purpose? Is it simply a place to relax and ground with family? Is there something beyond that? Please, Mr. Sandler, and I will keep this to our 3 minutes, and I know we got about 2 minutes and counting, but I really want to just serve you. I'm not here to pitch you something. I want to serve your needs.
Yeah, there's plenty of places that I'm at that are work. Getting back to New Hampshire is one of those times that's about family. It'd be nice to get up to Lake Winnipesaukee. It's close enough to family in Manchester that it's a quick drive down the highway. But I, just looking for somewhere where it's not work to be there. So that's what I'd be looking for.
No. And am I hearing, so I'm hearing love of family, I'm hearing peace, I'm hearing solitude, grounding. And am I hearing that you really want to be away from folks? Is that most important to you? And what if you could have your ideal location space for this family connection and grounding, what would that look like for you?
That's usually the point to getting up to the White Mountains and Lake Winnipesaukee is to get away from people. So the main goal there would be to be with the people I like and to get away from everybody else. So that's with the exception of the big motorcycle rally, it's usually a nice quiet place to be.
Awesome. And so could I share a couple quick things then that may or may not resonate with you about the possibility of being really isolated from folks?
Please do.
So, Mr. Sandler, the reason I think your team sought me out is I have a core expertise not only in the concept of moving real estate transactions and from the perspective of my communication skill sets, but also truly serving people's needs emotionally and energetically. And I think that's why your team accepted this conversation with me. So I have already, because I presumed that this might be the outcome. I had some other selections if there was some other answers, but I want to come prepared. I've selected 12 spaces and ranked them, and I am incredibly confident that these spaces will fit the needs that you have. Again, I presume that this would be some of what you're looking for, not only from a perspective of isolation, but from the size, the space, the energy of these places. So very simply, Mr. Sandler, what I think would be incredibly beneficial, I'm happy to send them over to you in advance, but I would propose a 15 to 30-minute conversation where, with incredible efficiency, respecting your time, along with anybody in your family you want to be there, or just only you, to walk through why I hand selected each of these and how I think they would energetically fit, where I think there could be any downsides. So not only are we serving you in this transaction, Mr. Sandler, but building a lifelong relationship to serve you and all of your real estate needs. So how would it resonate with you or not, Mr. Sandler? Have me send these over and create a 15 to 30-minute conversation to walk through each of these options to get you on your way to finding the peace, the solitude, the time with your family, sir.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Shall I set that up with your assistant, Tom?
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Sandler. Have a blessed day and we'll speak soon. Thank you. Michelle, how'd I do as you having a conversation with Adam Sandler, please, about his real estate needs?
Well, I'd like to have you on my team, Sean.
Well, thank you. I'm appreciative. And what resonated with you then, please, Michelle?
Just being very respectful and efficient, and asking what's important and why, being isolated is important. Getting to the heart of why people are moving, and what's really the core reason is usually how we find the best fit for them, right? So I think you are, yeah, it was fun to hear you be me. I learned a little bit along the way as well.
Yeah,
So
well, thank you. It's an honor. And Michelle, how was your time overall on Carla's Heart of Influence today?
Oh, this was excellent. I'm so glad. Thank you, Carla, for inviting me. What an amazing group of people. So much love and supportive, big hearts here. Like, everybody is here to serve, and I love that. I love being part of that. Thank you.
Beautiful. And a final, and I'm going to step over to Chuck in a moment, but the dynamic of what we share and talk about is the 4 steps, 12 indispensable elements, and 4 energies of influence. And Chuck, as Adam Sandler, was very closed energetically. Was efficient. He was looking to move forward. So we simply matched that process with our questions and efficiency, pick up on the pacing, speed, communication dynamic to stay a step ahead of his closed energy, his efficiency looking for. He wasn't opening up and talking about a lot of things with his family. He was very to the point. He was very brief, right? So we matched that and moved things forward. Had he been, emotional and the home and space of Manchester, New Hampshire, and then we would have slowed it down. We would have leaned in more deeply to that, of course. So Chuck, great job as Adam Sandler. Appreciate you being here today. And how was your time on Carla's Heart of Influence, please, Chuck?
Yeah, it was nice to get to meet you all. I actually went to high school in New Hampshire, so that was the main thing I knew about Adam Sandler. I didn't go the comedy route with him, but I do know where he went to high school. One of my old teachers was one of his teachers.
Love that.
That's a beautiful thing in space. Fun footnote: my daughter Courtney did her first year in college at the University of New Hampshire, so I'm slightly familiar with the space, not nearly as much as you. And thank you, Chuck, for being here today. Thank you. Let's go with, from this beautiful place, Thasia. Thanks for kicking us off in the feedbacker seat, judging, and really appreciate your work in the space of domestic violence. We had the privilege of speaking to a company called SIBO, the Chicago Options Exchange, and ringing the bell on Domestic Violence Month. We've done some meaningful work in the space. In my law firm, we have a family department and do a bunch of work in the domestic violence space as well. So thank you, Thasia, for everything you're doing to keep people safe in the world. And please, your final, and how was your experience on Carla's Heart of Influence?
It was very interesting and just reiterated to me that it's always meet them where they are. And like you said, match his mood or his demeanor. That goes a long way. So this was a great experience. And I thank Carla so much for thinking of me and bringing me in. She's a great lady.
Awesome, for sure. Thank you for that, Thasia. Susan, appreciate you being in the feedbacker seat. And how was your time on Carla's Heart of Influence, please, Susan?
Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. I enjoyed every bit of it. I liked meeting all the different people from Erie and elsewhere. And Carla will tell you I was very hesitant because I thought, oh, this is going to put me on the spot, but it didn't at all. I was very comfortable. I enjoyed it.
And beautiful. And what we have fun with saying, Susan, at times is, where's the spot? And conversely, aren't we all always on the spot? Right.
Yeah.
Play with that. So thank you, Susan. Bella Verita, we have some other heart-centered leaders that are here. Please.
We do have some art-centered leaders here, and kicking us off in that participant seat was Mr. Robert. And so, Robert, how was your time with us? Yes, I was definitely all over the place. I was not an easy client. I think Sean tells me that all the time. But Robert, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was super fun to think through what I'm offering, because like this is actually something I'm now super excited about, and I haven't offered it. But one person bought it just out of my sheer excitement, but like I haven't actually tried to offer it yet. So this was a great practice run to start having those conversations and start thinking through, what people would need. So,
And
yeah.
Robert, I think you did such a masterful job, because pattern recognition is foundational for all of human influence and communication. And the pattern is coaches get certified, they make nothing, nothing ever works for most coaches. And it's sad because they're really great people that want to make something happen in the world. And so you are so on the truth, and they buy program after program after program after program. Everything you said is so true. So really great work and serving people in the space of coaching, which I believe is 95+% is powerfully heart-centered humans that really have difficulty getting out of their own way to get their work and message forward. So it's awesome. And I am not confused that you are very much on the right track with what you're doing. And you did such a congruent, masterful job of it. I was like, wow, this is awesome. This guy must be doing a ton of this. So it resonated very powerfully. Great job.
Cool. Thank you.
Bella.
Now let's go to our other participant scene. Hopefully this was a bit easier than figure skating, but how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was really great. I enjoyed meeting everybody and just learning about all the amazing work you're all doing in your own communities and in Erie especially. So I'm happy to meet those of you who think you can help me with my grief groups moving forward. And it's kind of a new area for me. I've kind of been a policy wonk my whole life. And so now I'm kind of moving in that helping space. And for me, it's kind of like a fine line between being nosy and trying to help someone, So I want to strike the right balance, especially when, you meet someone who's having a really difficult time processing loss. So, but the feedback was really helpful. And thank you to all of you who do therapy and work with people experiencing big issues in their lives.
Yeah. And may I offer a distinction, because you're here to serve people in a beautiful way that I'm certain would be tremendously valuable. May I share?
You want?
Yeah, may I share something with you that I think?
Oh, yes, please.
So everybody's only going to talk about what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to talk about. So you're never nosy asking people where they have been, where they are, where they're going, what's working, and what are the challenges. It is perfectly set to have people share everything they want. And that is the 5-component recipe of creating emotional rapport with every human. They will only tell you what they want you to know. Chuck, can I ask a couple quick questions, please?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you actually do? I think I heard it, but I just want to hear it from you. What is it that you do?
My full-time job is that I pastor a church. It's downtown in a generally homeless population. And then as a part-time job, I'm on Erie City Council.
Beautiful. And why do you pastor a church?
I just wanted to see opportunities to make an impact in the world. So I took a call in the place that we have the lowest median household income in the nation at that zip code. So and then the church I pastor has a warming shelter that meets there during the days. So it's just in the spot that I found the biggest need to address.
Yeah. And how's everything going?
I have a lot of fun at it. Tiring days sometimes, but like tomorrow I'll be at the beach with a few dozen homeless guys having a picnic. So there's some weird moments that I find a lot of fun in.
That is super cool. And what's the ultimate mission, vision, purpose about it? Like you win the game of fulfilling your purpose when what occurs?
Uh, Jesus refers to it in the Lord's Prayer, on earth as it is in heaven. So right now I've got my little corner of Erie to work on, and the goal is to make that like heaven.
Thank you. I am not confused of who you are and where you are. So if so this is an actual ministry, like there's a 501(c)(3, is that correct or no? You
Yeah,
have,
yeah, yeah.
so
It's a church, brick and mortar, steeple, the whole deal.
I'd like to make a $10,000 donation from my Calgary Christian Foundation to your calling. Would that be okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, Carl will connect us and set that up.
Okay.
I heart, brother, and your energy and all that you're doing. And yeah, so thank you for being who you are in the world.
Well, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thank you. We meet people where they are and they tell us what's happening. And when we listen to people at depth, because there was a component of Chuck's interaction today and Chuck, may I ask if I'm on or off with this, that it's like, like what are these guys kind of up to? Like, did I hear that like underneath somewhere or no?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew it was sort of an opportunity to meet some people. Didn't really know where it was going necessarily.
Yeah. So the reason that I did what I just did is I tithe. I'm a Calgary Christian Foundation. I don't, I'm blind. It's a secular program, but that's how I go forward. And I heard that in Chuck, and I'm sure Chuck has had a million experiences with people who have not followed through, have promised one thing and done another. Chuck, am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah, yeah. That's a regular occurrence.
Yes. So what I'm offering you, brother, on the mission that you're on is a regular occurrence. It will never stop being a regular occurrence. But there's a handful of humans that you'll interact with that can co-create a profound difference in all of our missions. And I hold space for the fact that we're searching for them. And that's why we run this platform. So thank you for being a part of it and more than 8,000 people, and appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. Does that bring us to the one and only that brought us together today, Bella Maria?
It does not. I think we still have Penny that's left. So Penny, thank you for being here. And how was your time with us today on Carla's Heart of Influence?
It was a good experience for sure. I'm glad to meet everyone here, including you and Sean. I'm glad to Carla for having, asked me to participate in it. And you know what I learned about myself that I kind of already suspected is I'm in that, instead of being in sales or sales, instead of selling anything, I'm just like, if you build it, they will come. I know you're not supposed to do that, but we have this great place, Thrive Therapy space. It's a co-working space for blah, blah, blah. I won't go into all the details. So it really is great. But I don't think I do enough with the sales. And Sean, you were just such a great example of how to meet people where they are. So you don't feel like you're selling as much as just helping people. I'd love to do what you're doing.
Yeah. And Penny,
but Sean, can I jump in here real quick? Because I'm gonna have to run. And this is so poignant, Penny, is because I just opened a co-working space in partnership with Sean and Unblinded, a co-working and wellness space in Colorado. And I kind of had the mentality of like, people will just show up. I'm great. And one of the things that Sean and Unblinded teaches is reaching out and talking to people you do not know, doing what Carla did to bring everybody here today. And out of much resistance, I did just that. I started reaching out and calling people that I did not know. And I started connecting with a tax accountant who has 4 practices, a woman who has 1,000-person list. And none of those people are searching for an ad on Facebook. And I would have never built those relationships had I not picked up the phone and called them and invited them and asked them to share my my grand opening event and send it out to their list and ask all of go from hello to yes for their partnership in inviting people. So I just wanted to add that, because I've actually been doing that, and what I was doing wasn't working. And this is where every day I'm calling Sean, guess who I talked to now? Guess who I talked to now? And it's been extraordinary. And I'm meeting people that I wouldn't have otherwise met if I wasn't picking up the phone and going from hello to yes. So I wanted to drop that, Sean. I hope that's okay. And I'm going to turn it over to you because I got to jump in the green room for the other for next show.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bella.
Bye, everyone.
Penny, for sure. So I'm blind, and my parents, my mom pushed a hot dog truck in Jersey City, New Jersey, when I was a baby. And I didn't want to go blind and be broke. I have a hereditary degenerative eye disease, and most of the people in my family are blind, broke, and alcoholic that have my eye condition. And I didn't want that to be my future. So when I went to law school, because I thought lawyers make money, until I realized that the median income for an attorney pre-COVID, pre-inflation, was about $58,000. And I'm like, I don't want that future. I think they should have put that on the law school brochure before I racked up 100K in debt in the late 1990s. And then I had to make a decision. I'm either going to go blind and be broke. I had a pull towards going back and just coaching high school baseball and football. I was a Division I college baseball player, 4-year starter. And I'm like, I love that I'm safe there, but that wasn't going to help me not be broke. So I decided that I could either reconcile how to bring forward my work in integrity, or I would not have any money. And that didn't seem like a very desirable outcome. So I learned that we could bring our work forward in the world. And the greatest salespeople in the world sell nothing. The greatest salespeople in the world sell nothing, but they still bring their mission forward and have integrous conversations with people to drive things forward. So consider that. And before I ask for Carl about final, that's a beautiful segue.
Thank you. I will consider that.
Yeah, thank you. A couple of gifts. One is next week, we had 120 people on this morning. We'll probably have 100, 120, 130 people next Wednesday. Our world is open to you to meet other folks, to be trained on the superpower of influence with integrity. What does integrity mean? Because easy buzzword, 3 things: being transparent, not withholding any material facts. Second, that you seek to add more value than you take, than you receive. And third, that the thing you say can do the thing actually does the thing. You know, a grief counseling group is in integrity if it can make people process their grief more effectively, right? Then it's in integrity. Those 3 components. And our work on that Wednesday will train in the space. Second, we have a group influence. And by the way, you'll get to meet other people there as well. Our group influence book, which is we claim to be the textbook or the Bible of your public speaking, your management and leadership. You're like, well, we need another book on leadership, management, public speaking. Well, actually, yes, since none of them are holistically and diagnostically complete. Check this out. It'll blow your mind. It's our second gift for you. And our third is a business or mission acceleration session. Have that if you truly want to accelerate. Footnote, nothing will be sold to you next Wednesday on that session. Nothing is sold to you in the business acceleration session. We do want to build lifelong relationships with everyone, but we want to do it from a place of add value, add value, add value. And I don't mean a little value, I mean a ton. So these 3 gifts are yours because of Carla. And Carla, please, your final on your heart of influence today.
Sean, thank you for starters. And I just want to say, it's always such an honor and a blessing to be here with you and Bella, and to learn from you and your absolute mastery, and to up-level and grow with these incredible human beings today has been just such a blessing. And to be in Bella's energy, there's nothing like it. And to watch her brilliance and the way that she creates these scenarios, and just feeling so blessed. And congrats to all of our really intentional and integrous guests today, our courageous participants. Awesome job. And our really thoughtful feedbackers, just amazing. And so may we take what we've learned and co-created here and go out and do beautiful things with it in the world. And Sean, I just am so blown away by what you would do for Chuck and his mission today. Truly incredible. And what a surprise, what a nice surprise on today's episode. And I happen to be, I just live a little ways from that church. And so this is my zip code. And on behalf of our residents and, you know, just everyone here in our city, we just love you and appreciate you so much. So thank you.
Thank you, Carla. And in final, what I did today for me was not a big deal at all.
Mhm.
But what Chuck does every day and the sacrifice and the investment is truly masterful and magical. And I heard underneath it all something there that I thought I could serve to open up a possibility, because there's people with resources, whether it's skill sets, time, or money, that can aid what he is doing massively. And I just wanted to have that present and just show a little bit of what's possible out there from people, no matter how many others disappoint. Like, it's out there. And how do I know? Because I'm a blind guy, and 75% of people like me are unemployed. 75% are unemployed. Home ownership rates of people like me are virtually non-existent. And if I could do this, anybody could do this. So that's my final. And Carla, um, as to you, there's no show I love doing more than The Heart of Influence of Carla Fleming with Bella and you. Um, you know, a couple are right there as well, but your energy is infectious and extraordinary, and it is an honor to serve here in this space. And I've come to like love the space of Erie and fascinated by it. I knew nothing about Erie before you. And it's like, wow, this is an incredible place. So Carla, thank you for everything that you do. And for everyone, we end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, which I am, but I am certain that the possibilities for acceleration are all right in front of us. But at some level, whether we're sighted or not, with those possibilities right in front of us, at some level, Carla and everyone, we are all blind and
And
just
just learn to see.
thank you. Thank you guys. Carla, great job. Everybody, have a blessed day. See you soon.
Blessings.